Live from the country that brought you Sister Wives, the Octo Mom, and the Epstein Files. Are we live? I don't know. I guess we're live. Live from the country that brought you the Jersey Shore, Octo Mom, Sister Wives, the Epstein Files, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's my show. Hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. Do it up. We have so much. I gotta wait. Are we like a minute in till I can say some stuff? I'll play some music. This is the Black Mariah Theater covering Future Starts Slow by the Kills. Welcome. First, what's up, Jess? I got Zach Galifianakis calling out Joe Rogan and all the podcast bros. I got Michael Wolff talking about the Pussy Committee. I don't know if I can say it yet. We're a minute in. I'm selling my time to be able to eat. How are you doing? What's up, Smoke Blondie? Good to see you. Protect the dolls. Protect the innocent. Oh, and I got a great. If you were here yesterday, if you had caught yesterday's episode, there was a United States vet who claimed to be a vet who said he was very scared of men in dresses. I also have audio of the president being very scared of men or women, or I can't figure out what he's scared of. Everything. It's all a distraction from not releasing the Epstein files. But I have a very important message from the one and only Mr. Rogers, reaching from beyond the grave. This is the amazing thing of digital media. We'll start with Mr. Rogers' message. We'll probably have to play it a few times. What's up, Stephelson? Smoking Blondie? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Sargon, release the files. I mean, my dress packs a pistol, so valid to be scared. Jess, I love you. I love you. I love you. Amazing. Jess, I don't know if you were here yesterday when that guy was complaining to be scared of men and women's dresses. As soon as I get enough money, I'm going to the secondhand store. I'm going to start doing the show from a dress just to put the fear of God into that former veteran. But I said, don't tell Iran that the the military is scared of guys in dresses because that's all they got to do to fucking beat back the evil empire. Way to admit, like, listen, not high gas prices, not the people in the Epstein files, not the insider betting on Colossian Poly Market, but it's a guy in a dress that scares me. Ooh, Mr. Rogers hates you. He's very disappointed in how you grew up, sir. Amazing. Go check out the Black Mariah Theater. I don't even know if they still make music, but God bless them. Don't you try to do a fucking, don't you try to do an advertisement on my channel? Who do you think you are? Knucklehead. AI powered. Everything is AI powered. Fuck AI. And we're going to listen to one of my favorite comics of all time. Got to meet him once. Got to meet him once, and I left to go see about a Red Sox game. I can't believe I fucking bailed. Oh, I think I did. That might have been a regret. Zach Galifianakis, one of the greatest comics of all time, hung out with him backstage at one of his shows. One of the shows my radio station was putting on at the time in San Diego, and I bounced. I met my two favorite people on earth, Sarah Silverman and Zach Galifianakis. Took pictures with both of them. I was like, peace. I got to go to this Red Sox game. And Casey Affleck was at the Red Sox game. Crazy, man. Um, but listen to this. I told you guys about this interview last week. I wasn't going to play it for you, but now it's making the round. Well, this one's not making the rounds. The Conan O'Brien podcast is making the rounds with Zach Galifianakis, and I absolutely adore him because he just seems like a fucking wholesome dude, a genuine, authentic, real McCoy. Do people say real McCoy anymore? You know, he's everything that's right with the world. Zach Galifianakis. And I'm gonna play this clip real quick to give you a little taste, and then we'll deep dive into it after. If you don't know who Zach Galifianakis is, what's up, Curtis? Good to see you. Dress up, Boston Rob. Oh, I will. I gotta make sure that what's his name? Danny is in here. I gotta make sure. Um, he's from Charlotte. No, he's is he from Charlotte? I thought he was from Oh, I'm thinking of Danny McBride. Danny McBride is from Charlestown. You're right. I think he is from North Carolina. He's from the Appalachians. You can hear it when he speaks. Danny McBride, you know him from Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals. He might have done some bigger stuff. I can't think of it. The Foot Fist Away. Excellent stuff that Danny McBride has done. Um, he's from the Carolinas. And he still lives. He does all his stuff. The Righteous Gemstones. Danny McBride's a gem. Um, and Zach Galifianakis from North Kakalaka. He don't live there no more. I think he moved to Canada. He talks about it in this interview. Again, I linked this interview with Zach Galifianakis down in the description. I suggest it's how long is it? It's an hour and 4 minutes. Watch the whole thing. This could have went on for 4 hours and I would have watched the whole thing. And by the way, he's doing the rounds. He's doing interviews right now because he has a show on Netflix called This Is a Gardening Show, which is it is so my speed. It is gardening, it's humorous, it's educational. If you haven't seen it, um, watch it. It's so good. I was watching with my kids, and then they were like, "What is this?" I was like, "Come on, man, come on, man." But this is Zach Galifianakis on the Vulture interview for Good One podcast, talking about what's wrong with the podcasting world today, and he nailed it. He nailed it.
So I don't. This is my problem also with comedians. They became experts and podcasters. No offense, but Jesus Christ.
That is, if that could be my fucking ringtone, I would have that. I would have that as my ringtone. This.
So I don't. This is my problem also with comedians. They became experts and podcasters. No offense, but Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Listen, there was a time where, phones were newer and you could like clip stuff and make it your ringtone. I'm sure now everything you got to pay. It's like pay 99 cents, make your own ringtone. Use AI to make your own ringtone. Um, But if I could make that my ringtone, holy Christ. Holy Christ. This is so good, Zach. Thank you. Can we clip this and send it directly to Joe Rogan's elkmail.joe?
So I don't. This is my problem also with comedians. They became experts and podcasters. No offense, but Jesus Christ.
All right, we're gonna get all into that. I'm just giving you a little taste, just to wet your whistle, okay? Because I got more. On the podcast with Conan O'Brien, he goes deeper into it, and I think he says Joe Rogan. He summons Joe Rogan. He says his name 3 times, like goddamn Beetlejuice. But Joe Rogan's too busy being a comedy assassin with his band of merry men that cannot fucking question his authority. But we have a powerful message from 1991. Um, Please tell me I took a fucking picture of this. I did. I did. Do you know this man? 91. He's getting a little gray. He's getting a little gray. This is Mr. Rogers. Fred, if you're the funniest man alive. What's up, Duffy? Yeah, Zach Galifianakis is one of the funniest people to grace this earth. I'm glad that I had the experience of um being on this spinning rock at the same time he did. Um I feel grateful for that. I have Morgan Freeman from the Shawshank Redemption answering my voicemail. Absolutely no one gets it. That is so amazing, Primal Screams. Do more of that. Listen, in the 90s, when we had like tape answering machines, besides the couples being like, hello, this is you could do hilarious shit like that. And I think technology has kind of whittled that away. And that's a lost art. So bring it back, folks. Um Your spam. Oh, by the way, mods are here. Mods, don't don't mute, don't ban nobody today. Don't mute, don't ban nobody today. They create content. And don't let them chaff your hide. Chafe your hide. Um uh oh wait, oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a poll. How do I do a poll again? God, why do I always press that? Hold on. What the fuck? How do I do a poll on here? Hold on, give me a second. No. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. I want to do a poll because I do want to find out, will Trump pardon Giz how do you Ghislaine Maxwell? Okay, there we go. Start my poll. I saw somebody else doing this. Can I move that somewhere? I can't move it. It's got to stay right there. It's got to block Fred Rogers. That's disrespectful. The Michael Cera interview makes me cringe. Everything else he touches is gold. I haven't seen. Uh, I haven't banned anyone in days. I need my whack a maggot. Nope. Don't. Unless they say a slur, do not ban them. Do not mute anybody. Let them come in. Let them come in. Let them come in. Because this message is for them. MAGA needs to hear this more than anyone. This is a very powerful message from Mr. Rogers. And I think it's amazing that this was. I'm so proud to be a kid from the 90s who grew up on a Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers, LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow, Captain Planet. Remember that one? Who is saying no? Who's saying Trump's not gonna pardon her? The pardon is in the pipeline, man. Uh, Remember to punch the like button like a maggot talking. Shh. Yep. Our unit's 100% chance. It's already written. It is. It's 100. This is 100%. Whoever is saying no, you're high on your own supply, man. All right. I want to play this Mr. Rogers thing. I feel like. Oh, it's definitely written. Shine light on the Harvey Weinstein crap before it was all cool. Well, so there's a fascinating. What's the YouTuber? God, forgive me. I forget his name. He does investigative journalism and he did a whole interview. I was listening to the premiere earlier today and he was talking to Ghislaine's sister, Elaine. Is that her name? I don't know. And she sounded like she was reading from a script. And she said, I have this weird, peculiar thing. She said she slept with Epstein, right? Ghislaine's sister slept with Epstein. Um, then was trying to like space herself from that, and she was like, "Well, when me and Jeff would travel, he said he had a heart condition, so he couldn't bump uglies." And she goes, "And that was okay with me because I have a particular health condition where I can't either that often." And I typed in the chat, I was like, "Oh yeah, just like Prince Andrew can't sweat." I was like, "Give me a break with all these rich people." And they're like, "My doctor says I have this condition," just like Donald Trump didn't have to go to Vietnam because he bone spurs, right? I love how these wealthy people are like, "No, my doctor says this." It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just on the payroll, you dumb bitch. Uh, but it totally sounded. I'll find the dude's name. I forget. He's an investigative journalist. He does some good work. Um, he's doing a series on like Jordan Peterson and all the health gurus that are getting sepsis, which is just fucking hilarious. There's nothing funnier than these people grifting others while they're traveling. I love the Republicans, how they're like, no stem cells, no this, that. And then these health gurus are like, if you just travel across the border, you can get these delicious fucking stem cells for yourself. And then they go down there and and they fucking get these treatments that almost kill them, and then they come back and they don't want their audience to know, so they're like, "Oh no, I rejuvenated myself. I fell and it was a real bad." They like just make up shit. Um, but if you know who I'm talking about, I forget if his name's Sean Greavy. I can't remember what the fuck this dude's name is, but if you look up Ghislaine's sister interview today, he released it today. And it's fascinating because everybody in the comments was like, she's reading from a script. This is all fucking sounds like the investigative reporter's reading from a script. It all sounded like it was laid out. And that really made me go, okay, they're releasing her from prison. You know, if his sister's fucking doing some damage control right now about the family, because that bitch shouldn't be showing her face, you know? It's like, you telling me you banged Jeff Epstein, you flew all around with him, your sister was the one that was coordinating all this stuff, and you just didn't have a clue? Really? Okay. Okay. All right, sister wife. Anyways. Okay. That's enough with the poll. Thank you for participating. How do I get rid of it? There we go. Because I don't want to put any disrespect on this man's name. This is Mr. Rogers from 1991. Listen closely, MAGA. Listen closely, MAGA.
A mask like that. Yeah. A good feeling to know that whatever we wear, we're still ourselves inside.
Oh, damn. Danny the Maggot. Did you hear that? Whatever we wear, we're still ourselves inside. It still befuddles me. These MAGAs that are skibbity alpha rismas or whatever they are, beta boys, the beta cuck broligarchs that are like, if you wear a dress, you're a different person. Mr. Rogers says, no, man.
Whatever we wear, we're still ourselves inside.
That's goddamn right, Mr. Rogers.
Never change who you are
Nobody.
by dressing you up in something.
That's right, Mr. Rogers.
You'll always be you.
Thank you. Do you like me for being me? He does. He does. Don't worry. He does. That's a powerful message. That's what we were learning as kids. This is why MAG is like, defund PBS. It's woke. They're crazy. This is such a power. I need you to hear this again. Listen to the man closest to walking this earth like Christ, Mr. Fred Rogers.
Yeah. A good feeling to know that whatever we wear, we're still ourselves inside. Nobody could ever change who you are by dressing you up in something. You'll always be you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Appreciate you. I'm very grateful that I got to spend my early childhood days watching you on the TV while my parents worked. Isn't that amazing? MAGA, what are you so scared of? Dudes wearing a dress? Why does that terrify you? Oh yeah, and by the way, tell Iran that all they got to do to defeat the military is wear dresses. American men are terrified of that, especially the Republicans. Caring and loving another is woke in maggots' eyes. Yeah, it is. Mr. Rogers followed Christ. Mr. Rogers, amazing human. All right, now that we heard from Mr. Rogers, we can play that again later because it's just so wholesome. It's so great. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. God, I love this man. Such a great human being. How did we get so fucking lucky? How? You know, in the space-time continuum, and all the timelines fucking converged. We got so lucky to be blessed with a Mr. Fred Rogers. I still can't get over that. And I mean, look at where we ended up. You know, some of these people clearly didn't have fucking PBS when they were growing up, because they are highly insecure, unraveled human beings. But let's check in with Mike Worth. Is that really his name? His name's Mike Worth. Jesus Christ, these CEOs, what a bunch of dipshits. His name is Mike Worth. Get the fuck out of here.
20% of the world's.
We're gonna check in with Chevron CEO Mike Worth. Ugh. You know who I'm thinking of right now? I miss Luigi. Anybody miss Luigi?
Energy supply flows through the Strait of Hormuz. That's oil, that's liquefied natural gas, it's refined products, goes to Europe and Asia primarily. And both of those regions are seeing the impact of having that much cut off. The U.S. can't make up all of that supply. Inventories in the system are being drawn down, and the supply situation is tightening, and that's a concern.
And you know, you think about the US and where we stand when it comes to production, that of course has insulated the US consumer to some degree from some of the higher prices that we're seeing in
Today when I went into work, gas was $4.27. When I left, $4.32. Last week it was 387. I'm watching it before my eyes go tick, 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 tick. And if you don't think it's gonna get worse, there's nothing we could do though. I mean, we're at the behest of the Epstein class right now. And they don't give a fuck. They're using our tax money to fill up their boats, their yachts, their planes, their private jets, their beast mobiles, whatever, the Pope mobiles. They don't pay for anything themselves. They're a bunch of spoiled, entitled cunts.
Asia that we're seeing in Europe. And I just wonder from where you're sitting, how long you think that will continue to be the case? Or, is the US heading towards a situation where consumers are going to see the same sort of prices that we're starting to see in Asia?
I think the real thing is the U.S. is not going to see supply outages. We're starting to see risks of supply outages in some of these economies.
Did you hear that? Supply outages. That means no more. I like how the Chevron guy's like, oh yeah, no, US won't see that. Oh really? What makes you so confident? The liar in chief? Is he promising you something to feed these people these words? Give me a break, man.
In Europe, you're seeing flights canceled and schedules reoptimized because jet fuel is getting very, very.
Oh yeah, it's only Europe. The Spirit Airlines, that's a notoriously European airline that just went under from oil prices. Okay. Okay. The fact that people believe anything these motherfuckers say is beyond me, but yeah, keep keep pumping that propaganda. No, it's Europe. You're seeing flights canceled in Europe. No, we just had a whole airline shutter. Spirit Airlines in the middle of flights, they were just like, I don't know, it's too expensive. We can't do this anymore, guys.
Right in Europe. We've seen a number of economies in Asia that have instituted policies to reduce demand because they're concerned about running out.
I talked about those policies last week. They're doing work from home, they're restricting driving. Oh, and we think America is just immune to this? Okay.
Supply. Countries like Australia that have shut down most of their refining capacity and are heavily dependent upon imports are taking measures to address that. So I think
How is like this is the time for solar to shine, for every green energy. How are you not fucking like capitalizing on this, to use a word of the Epstein class? How are you not? How are you not? Anyways,
the U.S. is going to see the price pressures. It's a global market. These prices are set in global commodity markets, but the risk of supply outages in other parts of the world is much higher than it is here in the U.S.
much higher. Before he said we weren't gonna have a global outage. Okay, anyways, whatever. I like the double speak. All right. How far are we into the I think I could play this now. We're pretty far into the live stream. Um I don't know if you guys seen this, but this is kind of crazy.
The Pussy Committee.
Yo, I never want to hear a dude that looks like this say those words again, but unfortunately, here we are. And you know who he's talking about? The President of America. That criminal in chief had when you're a young fella in your like 50s and you're chasing high school, middle school, elementary, whatever they were chasing. You know how you come up with like a term for like the group you're hanging out with? This was allegedly his.
The Pussy Committee.
Gross. Ugh. Sorry. I don't know if you've seen what our president looks like. I don't know if you've seen this fucking sloth. Um, I mean, unless we're saying pussy committee and like these guys are a bunch of pussies, um, you know, they chirped out of Vietnam. They talk tough. They have nothing to back it. They're a bunch of entitled rich kids, but they weren't. They weren't talking about that. This is Michael Wolff. He is deeply entrenched in that world as a journalist, and he did an interview with Midas Touch. And goddamn, the revelations, it's going to get much worse. Just so you know, listen, Maggie, if you're like holding on and being like, just move on from it, nobody is, because this is a pedo ring that is the largest, most disturbing ball worshipping of human history. Pretty sure even like the ancient Greeks are like, whoa, gross, dude. um and Michael Wolff knows more than he's letting on, but this is part of the interview that really shocked me. It takes a lot to shock me, but when you're talking about Donald Trump and Epstein and Prince Andrew, all these disgusting fucking overweight wrinkled bags of fucking meat calling themselves this, it it's the stuff of it's nightmare fuel. It is. It is. I'll play the whole clip of Michael Wolff.
Now, this is a key issue right now in the way the White House is looking at the Epstein scandal. The fear is
Bald Fred Armisen.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Hold on. I'm gonna who ruined my day? Rob Mack. You jerk. Oh my god. If Fred Armisen was much whiter, if he had a last name like Wolf, my god. Rob Mack, you just absolutely ruined me with that comment. Rob Mack says bald Fred Armisen, which is 100% accurate. From the glasses to the fucking facial features. If Fred Armisen was just a little more Caucasian, this is this is totally. If Fred Armisen was like Polish and fucking didn't drum and wasn't a drummer, this is what he would. That's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna call Michael Wolff White Fred Armisen from now on. Thank you, Rob Mack. That is so funny. That is. You're fucking killing me. Oh my god. This is White Fred Armisen talking about his insights to Epstein and Trump.
Now, this is a key issue right now, the way the White House is looking at the Epstein scandal. The fear is that Ghislaine Maxwell can tie Donald Trump to the details of what Trump and Epstein called the Pussy Committee. The Pussy Committee consisted of Trump and Epstein in their efforts to get girls for Prince Andrew.
Yo, this is the most disgusting thing ever. Put all of these people under the prison. This is so fucking gross. And how is this not even being investigated? Like that needs to be hashed out immediately. Fucking Epstein to Trump. I don't give a fuck if they were 20, which they weren't because they were 20 in like 1960. So they were in their 50s. And these dudes are notorious not for fucking dating anyone their own age. But calling themselves the Pussy Committee and not being a bunch of fucking puss bags, as in like, well, do you know who my dad is the most disgusting, heinous fucking thing I've ever heard. And by the way, Rob Mack said it's like he's playing a character, and I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't really like this Fred Armisen thing. Fred Armisen and was it Bill Hader? They did a series called Documentary Now, um, which in its own right, it's funny. It's not my speed of comedy. Like I love mockumentaries, but like the way they do it is like I watched the Blue Jean Committee, and I was like, I get it, I get it. Eh. Um, I love Fred Armisen. Don't get me wrong. Portlandia is one of the greatest shows ever. But goddamn, Fred Armisen, how are you not doing a documentary now about a fake investigative reporter who is investigating like an emperor who has the most heinous crimes alleged? Like Fred Armisen, this is the time for your comedy. Now is the time. You thought you peaked at Portlandia? No, my friend. We need to summon you from the comedy graves and bring you back. We need to resurrect Fred Armisen because if you're telling me Fred Armisen couldn't play a fucking to a T, a doppelganger Michael Wolff, if he just did a little white face like Drewski, Oh, by the way, did you guys see this T-shirt? This is funny as shit. I don't know if you guys seen that. But I mean, Fred Armisen, do some whiteface, come out as Michael Wolff, and do a documentary now about a satanic worshiping ball ring of pedo billionaires. Please, please, Fred Armisen, please. My God. My God, Fred Armisen, do whiteface and play Michael Wolff in a documentary now. I'm begging you. The world needs it, man. The world needs it. My Christ. My Christ. Okay. So did everybody hear the committee? Chomocracy. Chomocracy. I could call it Chomocracy now. Oh my God. That's so funny. God damn, man. If I didn't. Hey, what's up, Gensley Report? Good to see you. And after what Trump told Billy Bush, this is a reasonable claim. That's what like people forget because that was like 10 years ago and Donald Trump just throws so much at the wall all the time. So they like forgot that him and Billy Bush were hanging out in the fucking Hollywood Tonight van and Billy Bush was like, "Whoa, my man. Whoa, my man."
I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there.
I couldn't get there. He definitely moves like a bitch. A bunch of pussies, man. Pussy committee.
I will use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Oh, my man. The most heinous people on earth.
Don't be rude.
You quiet, piggy. You don't tell me what to do. These people are so fucking disgusting. And I mean, like, that's why they have to do it. Anybody with charisma, charm, character, you don't even have to have looks. We're not even talking looks. Like, if you're just charismatic, if you don't act like this,
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
like, that's not personality, Being a bully isn't having a personality. I think America forgot that. Joe Rogan, did you hear me? Being a bully, punching down isn't having personality. You dumb fucking knuckle dragging group of fucking keep me safe, my band of merry men. Personality is being able to punch up like Zach Galifianakis does.
The presidents that have had the president on them, they don't do their court gesture. They don't do it. They suck up to him.
Yeah.
So the comedians
Yep.
that are podcasts that have had Trump on, they're
Okay, so I don't think he says Joe Rogan, but there's only Theo Vaughn, Andrew Schulz, Joe Bogan, Polio Rogan. Those are the three that had Trump on. That were like after the election, were like Brad. They like watched the election live. They were like, "We did it, boys. We did it." And now they're like, "Geez, they're arresting people for putting seashells by the seashore." And it's like, Joe, why don't you text him? Joe Rogan, who just was at the White House, being like, "I texted Donald Trump about ibogaine." And he said, "Okay." It's like, so Joe, text him. Stand up for your fellow Americans, you fucking cunt.
they're not doing their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the job of a comedian. You are to challenge.
Yeah.
You are to make uncomfortable. You're not to sit there and fake laugh.
Yep.
That is not the job of the court jester.
Yeah.
Period. So there is a difference. Somebody yesterday was talking to me about that, about political influence through comedy and all that stuff. I'm more interested in the comedy first.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I whatever their motive is, fine. But the comedy has to come first. I remember when I interviewed Hillary Clinton, and I could tell she didn't want to be there, and I totally get that. I get it. But before we had set that whole thing up, they wrote back, "Well, you can't bring up those emails." And I go, "Well, we don't have to do the interview. That's fine. We won't do it." When you tell powerful people no, it's crazy. They were like, "Okay, we'll do it. Well, you can ask."
Yeah.
Because it's not that important to me to do it the way they want to do it. You have to, if you're going to come in the comedy, you got to do the way we want to do it.
Zach Galifianakis is a living legend. Do you hear that? He just set Joe Rogan, Anthony Schultz, whatever his name is, and Theo Vaughn he just put them all in their little boy seats, in their places at the little kids comedy table, because they're not serious comedians. Anybody who's inviting the king in and fucking sucking his boot clean is not a comic. Um, and comedy doesn't punch down. And Zach Galifianakis just laid that out like a goddamn comedy assassin. Is that what Joe Rogan's calls the comics on Earth? Joe Rogan, you just fell out of spot 200 to fucking not a comedian, because Zach Galifianakis is explaining that, like, Joe, you have $100 million. You don't need him to come on. He needs you. You can do it my way, as fucking Donald Trump tweeted at 3 in the morning because that fucking guy can't sleep. I hope his nightmares haunt him. And instead, what you chose to do, Joe, like, this is what Zach points out with Joe Rogan in inviting Donald Trump on, is my same problem with Mr. Beast. It's like, Mr. Beast, you had YouTube in the palm of your hand. And instead of being like, I'm going to break the algorithm, I'm going to fucking shatter it for people that are smaller than me so we don't have to do all these crazy edits, and I'm going to fucking, just totally wipe away what YouTube wants, and I'm going to forge what I want. Instead, Mr. Beast did all these podcasts and interviews when he got big, and he was like, you just gotta fucking get better at the algorithm. And it's like, that's what you peaked at? You got to your biggest fucking point, and you were like, I am here because I am the algorithm. It's like, dude, you had all the power and you decided to fucking go, I'm going to conform the best I can to YouTube. Like, those people don't deserve that kind of power. They don't. And Joe Rogan doesn't need the money, doesn't need the views. He could have fucking held Donald Trump to, and I mean, if he's a comedian, he could have done it in a funny way, like Zach Galifianakis would have or did with Hillary fucking Obama. I don't know who else he's talked to. And instead, Joe Rogan decided to play the role of fucking battered puppy. What a fucking cunt Joe is. I really want you to consider that. Like, this is so insightful. And this is not from me. This is a professional comedian who is at the pinnacle of his game. He's so good at his game. He's like, you know what? I just left the game and I do gardening shows on Netflix now.
First, me too. Yeah. No, I whatever their motive is, fine. But the comedy has to come first. I remember when
But with Joe, the comedy can't come first because he's an insecure little boy. So he's never been about comedy. Have you seen any of his comedy specials? They're not that comedy. You know what I mean?
I interviewed Hillary Clinton, and I could tell she didn't want to be there, and I totally get that. I get it. But before we had set that whole thing up, they wrote back, "Well, you can't bring up those emails." And I go, "Well, we don't have to do the interview. That's fine. We won't do it." When you tell powerful people no, it's crazy. They were like, "Okay, we'll do it. Well, you can ask."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's so nut. Because this isn't like Donald Trump coming on some no-name podcast where they're like, oh my God, I can't believe we got this guy. This was Joe Rogan after the Spotify Peter Thiel $100 million contract. Joe Rogan, the guy who goes on his yacht with Peter Thiel and all the elite billionaires, and who has a inflatable bouncy slide. If you haven't seen the photos, just Google it. You can find these photos of Joe Rogan on a yacht doing a bouncy slide into the, I don't know what ocean, the Mediterranean, maybe the Caribbean, maybe the ocean right off Little St. James. Who knows? So Joe, like, could have not kowtowed, not showed what a subservient little bitch he was, but instead he was like, no, no, no. The role I'm gonna play is swooning lover boy of Donald Trump.
Because it's not that important to me
Yep.
to do it the way they want to do it.
God damn, Zach. Please do more interviews. This is Zach Galifianakis on Conan O'Brien's podcast, and he also did one on Vulture, which I'll play a little more of. And he's only coming out of the woodwork because he's got a show on Netflix, and that makes me very sad. It makes me so sad. Because we need voices like this. Voices like this are important, because there's no one better to expose the sham of Joe Rogan pretending to be a comedian and like, oh, people are mad at me about the White House. It's like, dude, yeah, because you fucking ushered this gilded error in because you knew it would benefit you. You don't give a shit about people. You certainly don't care about your audience. You're selling them Alpha Boy pills, which you say helps memory, but then the next week you lie to Theo Vaughn about where you were when Charlie Clan was killed. You know, it's like, well, Joe, maybe you should be taking more of those Alpha Boy pills that you claim helped with your memory. How'd you have a memory lapse if you're taking Joe Rogan fucking uh doses of Alpha Boy? Um Now here's Zach Galifianakis. I've watched both of these all the way through, so we're just clipping it. But here's Zach on Conan O'Brien's podcast. Uh Which, if you I should have taken a picture of it. If you haven't seen Conan O'Brien lately, I love Conan. He's such a great fucking dude, right? Masshole, Harvard educated, late night host, fucking Simpsons writer, amazing podcaster. But I couldn't help but when I was watching this podcast, I'm like, Conan is starting to age, and as he ages, he's looking like the cartoon Joker. Like, I hate to say that, but his face structure and his hair and his paleness. I'm like, if you get a chance, go watch his podcast because I was like, Conan is aging in a very unique way where he's becoming like the Batman Beyond fucking cartoon Joker. Like it's such a weird, eerie, haunting thing. And Conan, I mean that with the utmost respect. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. It's a cool, you know, like some people go gray, some people age weird. I think you're aging into a Joker, and I would just play that up. I would play that role up a little bit, you know. I would wear a purple suit into the. I would if I was Conan, I would start wearing a purple suit with a green tie into these podcasts and just see if anybody notices. See if anybody's like, "Oh, you're aging jokerly." Okay, here's Zach Galifianakis talking about AI on Conan's podcast.
I mean, I think humans' biggest mistake was fighting.
Conan has said my hair is a character, 100%. He is a character, but if Gensley report, I implore you, go watch the Conan Team Coco podcast. It's on YouTube with Zach Galifianakis, and then come back tomorrow and tell me Conan O'Brien isn't aging into the cartoon Joker. I could not. I was like, this is. I should just find it and take it. Hold on, just give me a sec. I'll play this and I'm gonna find it.
Nature instead of working with where humans are going with AI. I guess I don't know if I'm where humans are going with AI. I guess I don't know if I'm old fashioned or maybe it's because I'm 56 now, but I think this whole AI thing, and I don't mean for medicine. It's
Yep.
got a lot of great things. I don't mean for medicine. It's
Yep.
got a lot of great things. Otherwise, though, I think it's another like biblical. I just am very afraid of it.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, come on. My thing is. Did I fuck up? Can anybody see me? Oh my god. I can't. Oh my god. I can't see anything now. What the? Why is this not working? Alan on the Hangover, yeah. Wait, you guys can see everything? I can't see anything now. I'm so angry. This YouTube app has been. You can see me. I can't see. It's black for me. So, I lost my camera. Fuck. Should have not have tried that. I should have not have tried that. I might have to go live again in a minute because now I can't see anything. I don't know what to do. Lighting on, lighting off. Lighting on, lighting off. Lighting on, lighting off. What is that button? I don't know what that button does. Oh, that turns it off. I don't want a short being. Oh my god. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Hoo, doggy. I fixed it. I feel like a Gen Z right now. What's up, Wham Bam? Okay, everybody can see me. I couldn't see you guys. That was the problem. Now look, I went and grabbed the snapshot. This is YouTubed. This is a thumbnail. This is not what he looks like in the fucking interview. Okay. I mean, I have it paused on him. He is. Listen, I love you, Conan. I love you so much, Conan. You're amazing, but you're aging like the Joker from the Batman cartoon. Okay, and just go watch this because with the lighting and he's got like this. Oh yeah, that is the clothes he's wearing. But they really photoshopped this for him. Which God bless you, man. You know I don't give a fuck what you look like. I really don't care. Unless you're Donald Trump or one of the Epstein elites, I don't care. I just could not the whole time I'm watching this podcast think Zach Galifianakis is sitting across from the Joker IRL. Go watch and prove me wrong. With the dim lighting, the dark background, the green chair, the kind of purple shirt, it's very Joker-esque, and I like this arc that Team Coco is subtly making Conan do. Okay, I'll play the rest of this. Sorry about that.
Not even for show business. I'm not even talking. I'm just saying in general, I don't trust it at all, and especially the dudes that are designing it.
You don't trust all these tech bro oligarchs. Hold on, who said, damn, his hairline's pushed back farther than GTA 6? I'm gonna steal that. I'm putting that in my back pocket. He looks a lot like the Joker. But I'm telling you, like that photo does him a lot of favors. And I'm not being mean. I'm just saying when you watch the IRL, he's very Joker-esque. He has this Joker vibe to him. Charlie Kelly, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. I'm supported by viewers like you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, or you can support in the chat. Rob, aquaponics, biofarming, rain harvesting, composting, animal husbandry are a legit way to divorce yourself from this corporate dominated society. Listen, man, aquaponics is hard to get set up. Uh, the if you know the UFC fighter Brandon Vera, me and him used to talk about because he was getting an aquaponics setup done. And I don't know about biofarming, but rain harvesting, composting, actually I haven't done rain harvesting, composting yet. Animal husbandry, you gotta have the land to do that, unless you're talking about cats. But 100%. Listen, I love to grow food. Unfortunately, where I'm at, I only have my blueberry and raspberry right now. But yes, I would encourage everybody to look into that stuff because it's fun too, you know? Martin says, "Bro, I went and saw it. LMFAO, you're right." Martin, I'm telling you, he looks like the villain guy from Billy Madison. No, I'm telling you, if you put in, don't do it, don't use AI. But if you put in, take the Batman Beyond cartoon and make the Joker from that IRL. In aging Conan, he's gotten a little paler. He's gotten a little more wiry. He doesn't have that youthful jest to him. And I'm telling you, just go watch this because the whole time, every time Zach stopped speaking and Conan started to speak, I'd look and be like, hey, he could fucking play the Joker, man. He might do a better better Joker than Heath Ledger. We can't catch rain here. It's illegal. Oh, by the way, speaking so Charlie Kelly, check this out. You think I wanted to show you guys this because this is so scary. And unfortunately Jeff Bezos wants democracy to die in darkness because he gatekeeps all the fucking articles. So I can only do the screenshot. Um But look, poisonous black rain falls in Russia as Ukraine strikes oil facilities. You know this big war that's going on. There's a few of them. There's more than a few. Uh, but those aren't really good for the environment. And when they're over oil and they're striking oil facilities, that stuff goes into the atmosphere. And then, like in Russia, they're getting poisonous black rain. Yeah. So just if you think it's isolated, if you think, oh, that's only happening in Russia, well, it's gonna find its way here. Don't worry. It's just like when that East Palestine, Ohio thing happened, and I was like watching the weather. I was like, God damn, if we get a nor'easter right now, everybody stay inside. Don't eat the snow. So yeah, just be careful if you're catching rain. Because hey, at this point, maybe catch it, and if you have a oil refinery, maybe if you're catching rain and it's black and you have an oil refinery, you could oh, I forgot about this. You could make some money off that black gold. Crazy how much yeah, that thumbnail, so much Photoshop happening. Especially because like I'm guessing they photoshopped smiles on them because a lot of time they're talking, it is stuff like this.
Yeah, there's a real problem. Because these dudes, how do I say it? They have math minds.
Suck.
They have math minds. You know what I mean? They have math minds, and that's good.
He's talking about the broligarchy, the tech bros, the Peter Thiels. I wouldn't even say they have math minds. They just have entitled, spoiled brat minds.
But there's very little wisdom coming out of that pocket of the world. Almost none.
Yeah.
And we're just running, all of us are running in that direction. The meat.
No, not all of us. I've dug my heels in and said, fuck them.
Yeah, the media loves AI. The media loves social media because it causes more of this.
Yeah.
I love when CNN, they'll have a reporter on going, they'll do a report on social media and how bad it is for someone. And then after the report, Jake Tapper gets on and go, follow me on Twitter. Nine, have you no self-reflection? Well, even how we communicate.
Even when Conan's laughing right there, I'm like, he's the Joker, man. He's the Joker. I love it. That'd be a cool fucking character arc for Conan. He just he becomes so disillusioned with the society, he becomes the Joker. I would love that.
Communicate through text. There's not a sarcastic font, right?
How did I not catch this? What the fuck did Zach? I've been saying this for 2 decades now, Zach. 2 decades. You guys can testify to that. What's up, Cage? Good to see you. I cannot, and he does have a he. Hold on, I'll play that again too. I cannot believe Zach Galifianakis just talked about a sarcastic font. I've been saying this forever, man.
They'll do a report on social media and how bad it is for someone. And then after the report, Jake Tapper gets on and go, follow me on Twitter.
That is a villain laugh. Conan has a villain. Conan, please play the role of not play the role. In your elder age, as an elder statesman of the comedian world, just go full Joker, Conan. Leave the podcast realm and burn billions of dollars in a warehouse while you upset the broligarchy. Please, Conan.
Self-reflection. Well, even how we communicate through text, there's not a sarcastic font.
I've been saying that for decades, man. How the fuck did we get AI before a sarcastic font?
Right. People are not good enough writers to do it.
Right.
Text. As a comedian, to get back LOL is really diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I think the way we have let robots do this for us has also made us a little bit off.
Yeah.
I just do. I worry about the lack of human connection with that stuff. And maybe it just is not as needed as we think it is. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But this world, this tech stuff, I've always thought about, I've always worried about it, especially when social media came about and MySpace and all this, when it was done, you could do it anonymously.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird start for anything.
Well, they could still do it anonymously. We see it here in the chat all the time. There isn't a sarcastic font. Toxic Audrey. That is the greatest reply that I've seen. Oh my God. I think, Audrey, I think you cracked the sarcastic font code. It is caps, every other letter. I'm going to steal that. If it didn't take so much goddamn time, I will steal that though, because that is the only way I've ever read. And listen, chat, I understand there's like /s or whatever, but I'm not doing that. I'm fucking old, man. I'm not doing a /. I'm doing a Reddit fucking subreddit thread thing to spell out. And plus, people would be like, "What did you fucking misspell is?" You know what I mean? Like, I'm old, man. But Audrey, that there isn't our sarcastic font with doing uppercase and lowercase is 100% a sarcastic font. Now, why can't we just get that in a font so just you don't even have to hit the uppercase? You know, you could just type that out. That is brilliant. My God. Listen, the chat is fucking fire today. From who was it? Rob Mack saying that Michael Wolff is a Fred Armisen character. Here's Michael Wolff, if you don't know. I played this audio earlier. That is a Fred Armisen. Do a democracy documentary now and play him to the sarcastic font. My Christ, man. By the way, I had this up. I don't know if you know. This is one of my favorite. I think I have it on DVD. I think I have this on DVD. Oh my God. What a fucking nerd. Own your media, folks. Don't let Jeff Bezos choose. But they mentioned this in the Vulture podcast with Zach, and it's 20 years old. Or 25, 20 years old? I forget. And I was like, oh, gross. That made me feel very old.
So the weirdos run.
And if you haven't seen this, this is one of Zach's greatest stand-ups. This is one of the best. Absolutely fantastic. And if you've never seen the movie, another movie I have on DVD, if you've never seen Zach Galifianakis in Out Cold, go watch it if you can even find it. That's probably why I have it on DVD still. Out Cold, the surfboarding movie with Jeremy London or his twin, I forget which one. Excellent movie. Zach Galifianakis, hilarious in it. It's probably from like 99. But if you like Zach Galifianakis, go watch Out Cold. Out Cold, if you can find it. That's what I hate about streaming. It's like they gatekeep whatever they couldn't own the license for, they gatekeep the movies. So, if Out Cold, was done on some like fucking third tier production company and they can't get the licensing, you'll never see it, And where do you buy DVDs now? eBay, I guess, $100,
Running this thing and good weirdos. I don't mean they're all bad weirdos.
Who are we talking about again? No, they're all bad weirdos. They're all fucked weirdos.
We need to something there needs to be a guardrail. And I think politically nothing changes in the States until they regulate the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that won't happen. Too much money passing hands, Zach. Hold on. I want to jump around in this Vulture interview with Zach. What was that, 17 minutes?
Angry guy. You don't know what.
Oh, you fucking, everything is an AI commercial. I swear to God, because I refuse to use AI, they're just bombarding me.
So I see it in Hollywood. I see it in the tech world. It's embarrassing. It's usually just a lack of a dad. Let's be honest. I hate to say.
Hold on. I gotta roll one.
Those are really my two go-tos. This one, though, because of, his past, he's not a dumb angry guy. He's just an ego angry guy. And the American ego, I see it in Hollywood. I see it in the tech world. Is embarrassing. It's usually just a lack of a dad.
Have I not been saying this forever? It's so good that Zach Galifianakis comes out of his Canadian woodland home to do these interviews, and boom, off the bat, two fucking things. There's no sarcastic font, and he says this American ego. You see it in the tech world. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Peter Thiel. He says it's just a lack of a dad. That's it. Listen to this. I have been telling you this forever. And when you follow the fucking dad story instead of follow the money, hold on.
I want to ask you about the idea of anger.
Hold on. Come on, stop doing that. So this is what Zach is addressing. and he says it's just a lack of a dad. And I've been trying to tell you this. Elon Musk, his dad hated him. He said it in interviews, even though he carried around emeralds in his pockets. He's like, yeah, my dad don't like me, and you could tell, because he's perpetuating the karmic cycle to his children, where he has like 15 of them, and he's emailing Jeff Epstein on Christmas morning. Um, and his dad also, Elon Musk's dad, Errol Musk, married Elon's stepsister, sister wife. I think that's where the term originated. And Donald Trump, his dad, Fred Trump, hated him, did not like him. I don't know about Peter Thiel's dad. I'm guessing his dad didn't like him. You could see it. Joe Rogan's dad left him. These men are hollow vessels, and they're looking. That's why all the money, all the power, none of it. They just need a hug from their dad, and a good cry. But it's amazing to hear Zach Galifianakis fucking put his finger on it just like I did a long time. I mean, it doesn't take much, a little common sense. You can see right through these chodes.
Those are really my two go-tos. This one though, because of his past, he's not a dumb angry guy. He's just an ego angry guy, and the American ego, I see it in Hollywood. I see it in the tech world. Is embarrassing. It's usually just a lack of a dad. Let's be honest. I hate to say it. I just do, but that's really what it is. It's literally just one thing. I think so. If I was to put the blame on it, But anger is funny to me when it comes from, especially from the ego part. It's just so comical because I always think of big egos like, who do you think you are? Yeah. It's just interesting to me. It's funny. People to lose control of yourself is
Now, is Charlie Kelly still here? DVD, is that like the save icon? The rich need therapy. The rich need Out Cold 2001. Okay, thank you, Hank. I wasn't sure. Out Cold, great movie. Check it out. Married the stepdaughter he raised from a little girl. That's right, Sardyon. Errol Musk married the stepdaughter he raised from a little girl. And there's some heinous charges in there too. We went all into it. But I mean, when that's your dad, is it any surprise Elon Musk is on Christmas morning emailing Jeff Epstein, abandoning all of his 15, 17, 20,000 kids? You know what I mean? Like, it's par for the course with these fucking Fruit Loops. Wait. Oh, is Charlie Kelly still here? Because Charlie, you need to watch Zach's new show. And Zach really speaks to this whole like, man, we gotta give nature a little more respect. Put some respect on nature's name.
it's funny.
I wonder if it was Father Nature, if men would respect it more.
Yeah. In Audacity, your character has a law he's famous for, which is for a society driven by technology, growth will continue endlessly. What's funny is that saying almost feels like in direct contrast to the refrain of your new gardening show, which is the future is agrarian, which is almost the exact thing. Which, if you think about it, is pretty radical because it's hypothetically suggesting societal collapse. What is the future that you see?
Well, hold on, I gotta pause it because I love that. Zach Galifianakis suggesting that there's going to be societal collapse, which I've been calling for since Joe Rogan helped elect Trump for a second time. I said, yo, this society is collapsing. There's nothing we can do. You could either fucking stand up and say, I reject this shit and I'm full bore against it, or you can play along at home like Joe Rogan and be like, wow, this isn't looking good until, shit hits the fan. But it's happening, man. There's no breaks anymore. This is all gas, no brakes. Is that a show on YouTube? I think that is. And they're just expediting it. And the most hilarious thing to me, outside of Zach Galifianakis having very common fucking beliefs that I do, is that what do these rich people think? Do these rich people think like when gas is $20 a gallon, which I called 2 months ago? When did the war start? That week. The week the war started, I was like, get ready for $10 or $20 gas. That's coming. when they have to put restrictions on going to work and people, they're anti helping people live in homes or afford food. Do these rich people think like we're still going to abide by the rules once we're starving and fucking have no means to exist anymore? Do they think their money insulates them from fucking societal collapse? That's the most hilarious thing. Like Peter Thiel, all the fucking island boys think like, oh yeah, we'll keep doing these $1 billion poly market bets on the war, and that money will certainly be worth something once we crash everything. Like that is the greatest trick. They say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was whatever, convincing MAGA that it's not Donald Trump. The greatest trick the workers ever pulled is making these wealthy people believe that we're invested. When they start singing about the Dow over 50,000, we don't give a fuck. Is that going to bring gas prices down? The Dow over 50,000, is that making egg more affordable? Is that making me have to not DoorDash after work? Is that making me fucking be able to afford my kids' sports? Is that bringing rent prices down? We don't give a fuck. And the fact that the mainstream media plays these clips and they're like, oh, the stock market's doing pretty good. Bro, Donald Trump crashed your fucking 401k, if you even have one, with his tariff day. Like, we are not invested in this shit. Foreclosures are going up just like the housing bubble of 2008. Fucking people are not invested. Invested. People are hungry. And it's still bewildering to me. I'm like, wow, these people really do live in a fucking bubble. They think like, oh, our money will be good when people are like wiping their butts with it. Have you ever read through history where they're like, oh, the inflation had gotten so high you needed, 2 wheelbarrows to buy one loaf of bread? Like, do you think money's still gonna be worth something when everyone's like, I don't give a shit. Do you have any food? And there's nothing you can do but laugh about it. Be like, wow, these people are really fucking neurotic and fucking narcissistic to think like, oh yeah, we'll keep doing the insider trades and we'll keep doing their tax money. It's like at some point, folks, it means nothing. You got it all. Good for you. Anyways, back to Zach Galifianakis. Sorry.
I don't mean it really.
Zimbabwe dollars are still in the trillions. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Our units. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Lady Wiser? Good to see you. The rich need the France 1789 treatment. A little Robespierre. I agree, man. We need the new Jacobin to fucking infiltrate their ranks. But that's what I'm talking about, When it's like, hey, what's up, Caleb? Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody strolling in. We're watching some Zach Galifianakis. I'll play his clip for everybody that's just showing up. I'll play him calling out the Joe Roganites because this is so. Share that, share that. It's a short. I linked this interview down in the description, but I love Zach, man, and it's too bad that we're living in the reality where Joe Rogan's on every fucking week and Zach comes out when he has a couple TV shows. Like, this is not the world we deserve. We deserve people like Fred Rogers, like Zach Galifianakis, where these people that can impart wisdom share it with us, not Joe Rogan who wants to play the part of very smart comic boy, you know? And again, like he has like flat earthers and like moon landing people on, and like people were taking this guy seriously. And his whole like I'm just a bro asking question is a decoy for anybody who thinks like Joe Rogan just ask questions. No, man, he's fucking providing you the narrative to fucking dissociate from reality.
Necessarily about collapse. I think the future should be, no matter what happens. I do think to cultivate farm. Listen, we need to green up the earth. We have dust bowled the earth through farming practices. We have. There's a documentary that's floating around that says we have 64 harvests left. When you hear that, whether it's true or not, let's assume maybe it's true. Well, that's when I get real conservative, right?
Yeah.
So my philosophy for there is, okay, do you trust man-made or nature-made? Nature made, always. In the preview to the gardening show, it says gardening's the only way or acid. I've never done acid.
That was disappointing too. Well, actually, it wasn't disappointing to hear, but it's very funny. At one point, Zach does say like it's either gardening or acid, and I thought, man, it would have been funny if he dropped a mushroom joke, a psychedelic mushroom joke there, because acid is a terrifying, terrifying thing. Why do you think the CIA was using it on like Whitey Bulger and shit? You know, like that is a terrifying, no good. But all natural mushrooms that fit right in with the show. Maybe because he did an episode on mushrooms, he didn't want to make that joke, which I understood. You know, it's like when the Beatles, fucking Paul McCartney, didn't want to say shoulder twice in a song. I get that kind of thing. But I still think that was the joke to do it. But yeah, Zach makes that joke. Sorry, I paused it.
Do you trust man-made or nature-made? Nature-made, always. In the preview to the gardening show, it says gardening's the only way or acid. I've never done acid. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
But societies that lean on this stuff, food, that around their culture, the food, it's they're stronger societies. They're healthier. So we're humans, we're animals. We act like we are not. And all this AI and tech world, it's
And you know, the point Zach made where he was like, if there are 64 harvests left before all the AI data centers turn our water into fucking, mud, why wouldn't you just err on the side of caution? Why wouldn't it be like, you know what? I know this data center is making that one really rich guy even richer. I know the data centers are making the most rich people even richer guys, but what about humanity? Like, this is my whole take on whether it's climate change or anything when it comes to Mother Earth and like seeing a rhino again or cheetahs existing or the hornbill or the shoebill. That's a terrifying bird. Have you ever seen one of those? Or a sea turtle. You know what I mean? I'll never forget fucking. I said one time to some dude, he asked for a straw. And I said, here's your sea turtle, murderer. And he was like, they don't actually. He got so mad at me. And I was like, what? Whose position is like, fuck sea turtles? Or like, that's fake news. Alternative truth. Sea turtles love straws. Like, that is somebody who is seriously, their brain is malnourished. You know, anybody who can see a sea turtle, they don't even have the little nubby toes that tortoises have. They have these flippers, man. They're the most adorable things on earth. And to take the position of like F a sea turtle, something's got to be rotten with you to the core. And it's just bewildering. I'm so fucking like, who doesn't want their kids to not have to just read about rhinos? You know, for all we know, those were the elusive unicorns, and just climate change fucking happened so quick they lost all their hair and got really overweight because they were thinking they had to go into fucking famine mode. You know, we don't know. No history can't obtain the knowledge of what the chubby unicorns, the rhinos used to look like, but I'd like to believe, maybe we're going to go a little Joe Rogan path. And rhinos used to have horse like hair and they were much thinner and taller, but over the years and climate change, they figured it was becoming famine time. So the rhinos shed all their hair and put on some weight, and now they're rhinos. They're no longer unicorns. That's a good theory. That's a theory I could stand by. Zero mercy for class traders, no matter the reason. 100%. If you don't know if you're a class trader, just think, do you want billionaires to be taxed? Do you want the people hoarding all the money to be taxed so they just are 100 millionaires? Because if you're thinking of defending them, you're a class trader. Oh, what's up, Sid? Good to see you. They just don't want to recognize that they are the problem. They lash out at others because they don't want to accept they have always been the problem. Yeah, 100%. Because you can't tax them. They live on debt. Oh man, come on. We could tax the fuck out of them. You tax those stock compensation packages, you tax their companies. uh Tell their employees they live on debt. tax their assets, tax everything, tax them into oblivion. But it's still, it's so like, it's just so refreshing to have a highfalutin comedian like Zach Galifianakis come out the woodwork and be like, if there are only 64 harvests yet left, don't we want to at least like try to salvage some of this beautiful green planet? Have you ever seen, what the fuck is that new show? There's some show I was watching about nature. And I just kept thinking, I was like, how could you watch this and be like, fuck it. You know, put a data center where that snow leopard's fucking territory is. Like, you gotta be some sick, malnourished brain, fucking Joe Rogan alpha pill, skibbity risma beta cuck to see. That's what it was. It was India. It was I want to go to India so bad, man. It was about the Nilgiris, the Nilgiris Valley in India. Oh, if you don't know about this, I didn't. I knew India had some radical ass uh nature, some species crossover, like they got tigers, panthers, um the sloth bear, most adorable bear, but they're not friendly. They're not friend. They look very friendly. They are not. Um they have wild dogs or coyotes or wolves or something. India has this fantastic fucking diversity, right? And the Nilgiris, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, my apologies. The Nilgiris Valley, that's this huge preserve, is being encroached upon by people, right? And they talked about how the tea plantations a long time ago kind of established humankind in that area. But when you see how gorgeous, how these animals are fucking, and that was the craziest thing. Maybe it's on Disney. I forget what I was watching. Um, the craziest part about this documentary is everybody has like the ring cams or whatever. You know, they have their security cams. In these people's houses, I'm like, how do you travel at night? There's leopards running around. There's tigers in your backyard. There's sloth bears climbing out windows. They had this one bit where the sloth bear kicked in a window, broke into the house, and then jumped out another window. And I was like, how do you not pack up and be like, we gave it a shot. Nature's winning. You know what I mean? Like, it was the most insane thing. I couldn't imagine going to put the trash out and you're like, oh, god damn it, it's another Black Panther. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to wait a half hour. Don't let the dog out. That was the other thing in this series. That dude had a camera and he had his dog laying on the porch and this leopard came and I was like, no, please don't get the dog. Like, don't make me choose between the leopard and the dog. And the leopard grabbed the dog by the throat, jumped off the porch, started dragging it away, and the dude ran out and it dropped the dog. So the dog was okay. I don't know if the dog was okay, but it was surreal. And how can you see that and think, that'd be a great place for a data center? Like, I can't fucking get how demented some humans are. I still think it all goes back to their dads abandoned them. And they're just like, Dad, do you see me now? Do you see me putting this AI data center in? Like, I imagine when Joe Rogan's on his yacht going, Peter Thiel, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bounce off the off the slide on my yacht, and I'm gonna do a belly flop. The whole time in Joe Rogan's head, he's like, wish you could see me now, Dad. It's like, Joe, your dad's alive. Go make amends with him. You fucking loser.
It's a little suffocating to me that's where we're headed. And what are the kids supposed to do?
I say that all the time, man. God damn. Watching this was therapeutic for me, if you can't tell. To hear another person say these things, in a way that's going to get amplified. Of course, like the stuff that is truly getting amplified right now on social media, because they're not going to play Zach Galifianakis saying, like, what do you think? What about the kids? What are the kids going to do? But I think that all the time. I'm like, who are we to rob future generations of seeing a rhinoceros? Who are we to rob future generations of seeing a rhinoceros? You know what I mean? That seems absolutely so fucking criminal against nature, against humans. Ah, it drives me nuts. And this is the stuff. I mean, good. This is good, but they're not going to play the other stuff. You know, if you missed it, this is Zach Galifianakis on Conan O'Brien, who's slowly turning into the Joker from the animated Batman series, talking about the podcast bros.
The presidents that have had the president on now, they don't do their court gesture. They don't do it. They suck up to him.
Yeah.
So the comedians
Yep.
that are podcasts that have had Trump on, they're not doing their job.
What's up, Barb?
Yeah. That's not the job of a comedian. You are to challenge.
Yeah.
You are to make uncomfortable. You're not to sit there and fake laugh.
Yep.
That is not the job of the court jester.
Yeah.
Period. So
Mhm.
there is a difference. People were actually, somebody yesterday was talking to me about that, about, political influence through comedy and all that stuff. I'm more interested in the comedy first.
Me too.
Yeah. No, I whatever their motive is, fine. But the comedy has to come first. I remember when I interviewed Hillary Clinton, and I could tell she didn't want to be there, and I totally get that. I get it.
Oh.
But before we had set that whole thing up, they wrote back, well, you can't bring up those emails. And I go, well, we don't have to do the interview. That's fine. We won't do it. When you tell powerful people no, it's crazy. They were like, okay, we'll do it. Well, you can ask.
Yeah.
Because it's not that important to me
Yep.
to do it the way they want to do it. You have to, if you're going to come in the comedy, you got to do the way we want to do it.
And that's a great clip. No doubt that should be shared around, especially for Joe Rogan, who did a 3-hour podcast with Donald Trump, if you don't remember. Of course, you're going to give me an ad, YouTube. Go fuck yourself. Joe Rogan all day and fight all night. Skibbity Alpha Boys all night. Check it out. We're going to train all day. We're going to be all up all night. Train your Alpha Boys all night. Go to the day. I gotta speed this up. I cannot. Joe Rogan is painful to watch.
All day.
Oh
my Christ. Can we just get to it?
You might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially. They were talking.
Oh yeah, totally liberal socially. Joe Rogan talking to the guy from the Epstein Files, Donald Trump. Eat your alpha pills by day, and then we'll all stay up at night. I don't know what they say in the beginning.
About you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you
listen to this bootlicking. The audience was cheering. Man, you're just beloved.
Who actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it. So cool.
So I'm here to just polish that little knob of yours. What a cuck. Joe, you should be ashamed of yourself. I hope we erect a plaque fucking that says Joe Rogan, usher of the Epstein era.
Coordinated and systematically. When you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah show,
Very.
she was encouraging you.
Last week I did one of her last shows. I think maybe Thursday or Friday. That was a big deal being on Oprah. Almost just an average fighter. Lost numerous times, but he beat this one guy.
Everyone's aware of all this stuff. But what I want to get to is, like, what was the experience once you got inside?
It
Like,
was just
what did you think it was going to be like?
Little did what year is this? Hold on. Little did 2025, no, it's got to be 2024. Yeah. Donald Trump is currently the 2024 presidential candidate. Show. Little did 2024, October 25th of 2024, Joe Rogan know that he was sitting across from one of the most prolific pedos in all of world history. Joe couldn't have known, and that's why he was such a boot cuck at the time of this recording. That's what they should do. You know how Disney now is like, during the making of some of these things, it was a little different in America, so forgive us for Aladdin. You know how Disney does that now in the beginning of their movies? Joe Rogan should do that at the beginning of this episode. You might be watching Joe now going, it's crazy. They were arresting James Comey, but no one from the Epstein Files. Joe is a younger man. He should do the Russell Brand thing, where he should be like, at the time of this recording, Joe was a younger, much more foolish and lighthearted boy. He hadn't been on his regular dosage of Alpha Boy pills, and he was smitten with the aroma of Donald Trump's diaper.
In terms of like your ability to govern.
Yeah.
Like this is your first experience governing anything. You've never been
No, he never governed as CEO of a fucking casino and bankrupted that. He didn't govern of a charity. He really, this is his first time in charge of anything, you know. What are you talking about, Joe? Joe, he's never run a thing in his life, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking to the guy in the pussy committee. You don't know what that is? You don't know what that is? Michael Wolff, break it down for him. Boo-doo-doo-doo buck.
Issue right now in the way the White House is looking at the Epstein scandal.
They're going to pardon Ghislaine. I'm calling it.
The fear is that Ghislaine Maxwell can tie Donald Trump to the details of what Trump and Epstein called the Pussy Committee.
Michael Wolff, please don't ever say that on the internet again. I mean, God damn, nobody bleep this man. Michael Wolff should not be allowed to say that. Audrey, Joe doesn't have a Napoleon complex. Do not put in the papers that he has a Napoleon complex. Maxwell's not even in prison, bro. Some unknown island. I know. People like I saw her on the streets of Toronto. They were like, aren't you Ghislaine Maxwell? She's like, who? Never heard of her. I must leave now. Yeah, they totally fucking escaped her back to the island. So yeah, in case you missed it, this is Michael Wolff. Again, I'm sure Joe Rogan will bring this up. You know, Michael Wolff talking about this guy right here, and how Epstein and Trump dubbed themselves I'm not going to say it. You say it, Michael.
Called the Pussy Committee.
That is disgusting. This guy right here was calling himself that. When they were pertaining to gathering young females, probably underage, for Prince Andrew. Is he in prison yet?
The Pussy Committee consisted of Trump and Epstein in their efforts to get girls for Prince Andrew.
Okay, so now that we've heard that, let's go back. Little could Joe Rogan know. Little did Joe Rogan know at the time of this recording, he was talking to one of the main founders of the Pussy Committee.
You've never been a mayor.
Yeah,
Right.
private stuff.
Business.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden
Well,
you're inside the White House.
The biggest thing was just that first moment of being in this hallowed. It was really a hallowed place to
Right.
me. It was
Surreal.
It was,
Hallowed be thy name. It was so hallowed, he tore it down. Yo, my favorite fucking thing, right? Hold on. I'm going to play this clip of Donald Trump talking to these little kids. He's an absolute garbage fucking man. This man is a fucking trash receptacle. And by the way, remember, a big sticking point with MAGA is they're like, we got to get guys out of women's sports, or I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's not like a real issue in America. There's much bigger fucking fish to fry, as they say, as the Pussy Committee used to call it. There's a lot of bigger tuna to fry. But I just want to play this clip for you, and then I want to just point something out, okay?
Oh, whoa. Right on. Oh, that's awesome.
and you'll never compete against women.
That's right.
Donald Trump said you'll never compete against women, apparently. And this poor kid is being groomed in front of our eyes by the #1 pedo in America.
Actually, the man powerlifter, and he decided to go the opposite direction.
He's decided to go the opposite direction. I just want to point out to MAGA, you know this guy who's promising men will never compete in women's sports. This is also the guy that told you no wars, low gas prices, affordability, release the Epstein files. I just want to point out the long laundry list of lies that he told you that have gotten us here, but I love that you're hanging on to, no, he promised men out of women's sports. The guy who bragged about being in women's locker rooms because he bought the fucking pageant. This is the guy. This is the guy. This is the guy that you're still fucking hanging on to. No, but the real issue is men and women's sports. The guy who lowered your gas prices, who didn't go to war, who fucking made everything affordable, who gave you concepts of a healthcare plan. That guy that's now promising you that men will no longer compete in women's sports. You're taking him at his word? Okay, I just want to make sure you're still stupid. Just want to make sure that like you haven't woken up from this fucking fever dream that you exist in. And when he says stuff like this, because this is clearly fucking propaganda to make you feel like I still care about one of those things you cared about. Um, that you're still, dissociating from reality, and you're like, oh no. This is the guy. This is the guy. I know he lied about the war. I know he lied about affordability. I know he lied about gas prices. I know he trashed all the farms in America. I know he didn't give us concepts of a healthcare plan. He didn't release his taxes. He didn't release the Epstein files. But men and women's sports is where he draws the line. I just want to make sure that that's where we're all at on this, okay? Just want to make sure. Okay. Back to Polio Rogan being like, you never really governed anything, did you, Donald? You didn't govern any casinos, any universities, any charities, any fucking corporations, any fucking bankruptcies. You didn't govern anything, did you? I love how Joe Rogan is just the guy asking questions, but don't you want a smarter fucking guy asking questions? Don't you not want Theo Vaughn's butt buddy fucking who can't tell his ass from his elbow and has to chug on alpha boy pills to fucking make sure he doesn't forget where he was when Charlie Kirk died? Fucking Christ, man. This is hilarious. America, I hope you're having the day you fucking voted for. You know what I mean? And that's specifically targeted at those fucking retards MAGA. I'm sorry to use that word, but it's appropriate at this point. Because if you think the guy who just broke all of his promises to you is fucking holding on to the last one of men and women's sports, hold your fucking breath. And I mean hold it. Hold it for a long goddamn time. I want you to hold it until Joe Rogan fucking texts him about email about arresting James Comey for writing seashells and no pedos in the Epstein files. Give me a break.
Beyond to me, that was the experience. It was a surreal experience. And then
The first thing I have Donald Trump on my podcast, right? And I don't play by fucking rules. I'd be like, what shade of fucking Rihanna's makeup is that, bro? I can see it right here. There's a line that goes here where it looks like you're doing a vanilla ice fucking white spray fucking like I can't tell, but that's got to be some kind of shade of makeup. You know what I mean? Like, and you should start. I would have started off the interview and been like, why don't you start a YouTube channel, Donald? And you could do a get ready with me where you start doing the foundation and you could be like, this is Rihanna's new Fenty makeup. I like her shades because she does shades for women of color, and clearly I'm going for a fucking Southeast Asian fucking tan. You know what I mean? Like, what is this, dude? And Joe Rogan, how do you just ignore all that shit? You ignore a man who's coming in fucking spray tanned or wearing too much foundation, but not right here and not right here, and you say nothing. You don't crack wise. You don't fucking lighten the air. You just bootlick. Give me a break, man.
with time, that wears off. With time, it becomes,
With time, oh, he's talking about he's talking about how the White House was a haloed ground. With time, that clearly wore off because what was this 2024? So we're in the year of our Lord 2026, where without any fucking approvals or fucking regulations, he just tore down part of the White House. So it was only hallowed for about a year and a half.
Everyone's aware of all this stuff. What I want to get to is like, what was the experience once you got inside?
Ah, Joe, that's right. Everybody wants to know, what was it like once you got inside the White House? That's the fucking question on everybody's lips, Joe. Oof, pulse, finger on the pulse, or up his butt. I can't tell, Joe.
it
Like,
was just
what did you think it was going to be like in terms of like your ability to govern?
Yeah.
Like, this is your first experience governing anything. You never been a
Yeah.
governor. You never been a mayor.
Yeah,
Right.
private stuff.
Business.
Joe, don't even ask that. Really? You've Donald Trump, you've never been a governor, have you? Like, what kind of fucking retard are you, Joe? Oh, no. He was governor of Delaware. Just nobody had heard of it until now. Seriously, folks, this is the fucking dude you trust with fucking doing these interviews? Now, Donald, I know you won the presidency once before, but were you ever on the school council at any point? Like, fuck, this is so retarded. I'm sorry to use that word, but Joe Rogan said if we elected Donald Trump, you get to use the R word again, so I'm taking full advantage while it's still legal. Apparently, that was outlawed under Biden. I don't know. Again, these are what these fucking people trust, man. This is so hilarious to me. When you really go back and look at Joe Rogan's insightful fucking dialogue, the discourse Joe is bringing to America. Now, Donald, it was historic that you were an outsider going to drain the swamp, but were you ever governor anywhere? Joe, are you fucking, do you wake up and fucking comb the hair you don't have with a tack hammer? What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, man. I can't believe we gotta fucking endure this. This isn't a podcast. This is an endurement of a fucking psychedelic bad trip, dude.
Yeah. But now all of a sudden,
Yeah, no, I was never governor, man. I was never. This is righteous, dude, isn't it? Like, what the fuck is this?
they're inside the White House.
The biggest thing was just that first being in this hallowed, it was really hallowed
Hallowed ground. Is that why you tore it to the fucking ground?
place to
Right.
me. It was something that
Surreal.
was beyond. To me, that was the experience. It was a surreal experience.
So surreal. I said, fucking get rid of that East Wing. Chop it down, chop it down.
And then with time,
Fuck
that
me,
wears
Ron.
off. With time, it become,
You can only hope hell is both of these guys chewing a bag of dicks. You know what I mean?
you know, your place where you stay. And
Right.
I was doing a lot of, I had two things that I really focused on: governing the country and survival.
What?
Because
He's like, you don't understand. We're gonna do a lot of false flags, so I gotta chop this one up really good for you. This is so funny to watch back. This is fucking. We should have a watch party. Yo, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. As soon as we get big enough, we're gonna do a watch party of this. Holy shit, man! You should get Jelly Roll in here. All these fucking queeftards.
from the moment I won, before I got to office, all of a sudden, they came down. I mean, nobody has ever been treated that way. You see that? I mean,
No, nobody's ever been treated that way. Martin Luther King, Abe Lincoln, JFK, nobody's seen the audacity that I had to see. They said my crowds weren't that big. And that was clearly referencing to my tiny dick.
I mean, you see where in the Washington Post very early on, they said, well, now the impeachment stuff starts. And it did. I mean, it literally started from the beginning. So I had survival and run the nation. I had a combination. Most people don't have.
I'm guessing you were all out of Run the Nation? Is that one of those I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass? Because you ain't running. What are you running it into the ground? This is really the thing. It's like what he doesn't say. Run it where? Into the ground? Excellent job. A plus, sir.
Survival, they get in.
Imagine being able to.
Fuck you. I'm not gonna imagine nothing, man, because you're asking me to use AI. You can suck a dick. That's what you can do. AI means don't imagine nothing. Put it into a computer and let the computer imagine what somebody else already did for you.
Like once.
All right, boring me, Joe. You're boring me. Let's go to the next most replay.
Isn't anybody probably around because you deal in a certain sport where the bullies are exposed very quickly.
Yeah.
But you know, he's bad. Bolton was an idiot, but he was great for me because I go in with.
He was so great. He's talking about John Bolton, which, if you don't know, when John Bolton left, he removed his security, which is like, that's a certain kind of fuck you that nobody should do. Nobody should do, because nobody likes John Bolton. He worked for Trump, and then he was like, all right, I'm not Trump anymore. And everybody's like, fuck you, dude. And Donald Trump was like, boop, take your security. Oh, man. I still don't understand. Like, do you not exist in the real world, people that like Donald Trump? Like, all you got to do is like, look at how he treats people that used to work with him, used to be friends with him. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, all right? He's saying if her kids, something happens to her kids, she deserved it. And you think Marjorie Taylor Greene used her horse legs to kick up shit for MAGA all day, every day. She went after children. She went after Parkland kids, children, for this Epstein fucking friend. Okay? And you think Donald Trump cares about you more than he did horse legs, Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, I'm sorry. He doesn't give a butt fuck about you in your flyover state. It's still adorable that these people cherish themselves because they think, like, my skin's white, so Donald Trump loves me. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Spray paint it gold. Maybe you'll get his attention.
With a guy like a John Bolton, John Bolton. A friend of mine called me up. I was picking Bolton. He's a very smart guy. His name is Phil Ruffin. He's a very rich guy from Las Vegas. He's a great card player. He doesn't play cards, but he's a great player. He's just
What the fuck? He's a great card player. He doesn't play cards, but he's a great card player. Again, I haven't watched this whole fucking interview. Okay. But how do you hear that and not go, oh, this dude's a liar? Do you not have people in your life that are like, I'm the best card player? You ever play cards? No, but I'm just the greatest at it. And you're like, oh, that's funny. They never matured from being 8. That's adorable. They never matured. They never grew up. Their brain fully didn't fucking develop. They probably have fetal alcohol syndrome or some shit.
a natural. I got poker sense, right? Good old poker.
Oh, the old poker sense from never playing cards. Yeah, yes. Just say he can read people, dude. Like, stop making yourself out to be such a liar and fuck. This is the thing I really don't like about certain people, outside of them being in the Epstein files or playing down the Epstein files or not holding the Epstein files people accountable, is shit like this, where it's like you don't need to go through this whole fucking I want to just start it again. You don't need to go through the whole rigmarole of like he's the smartest dude, the richest dude, he's a good card player. He doesn't play cards, but he's great at poker. Like you don't just fucking say he reads people well. That's why I picked him. Because everything else just made me go, "Oh, I can smell bullshit all over you." I don't know if it's your diaper or just your fucking breath, but dude, stop lying.
And one of the richest people around, and has
One of the richest people around. Really? So he's Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg? He's not, dude. He's not. See what I mean? Like, what kind of fucking pigeon-brained Americans are hearing this and being like, wow, awesome. Bark, bark. Fucking
had great
idiots.
success and understand.
I guess it's the people that watch Joe Rogan, eating the alpha pills, being like, one day Joe will be as smart as you. I'll just be a guy asking questions. Fucking idiots.
There's people. So it was in that I was picking Bolton, or I picked Bolton. He called up. He said, "Don't pick him. Why?
Wait, why did it fast forward? Why would it fast forward?
Bad advice.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're reading about him a little bit today. A guy like Kelly, who's a bully, but a weak person. You know more
A
about
bully, a weak person. Interesting. What is he telling you about himself? He's a bully. He's a weak person.
bullies than anybody probably around, because you deal in a certain sport where the bullies are exposed very quickly.
Yeah.
But he's bad. Bolton was an idiot, but he was great for me because
He's an idiot, but he was great. Do you hear the political? Dude, the only thing he's really good at is political speak, double speak. That's it. Bolton, complete idiot. But when I had him, he was the smartest guy ever. And people gobbled this up like they had no gag reflex. Fucking, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I go in with a guy like a John Bolton. John Bolton. A friend of mine called me up. I was picking Bolton. He's a very smart guy. His name is Phil Ruffin. He's a very rich guy from Las Vegas. He's a great card player. He doesn't play cards, but he's a great player.
Do you hear? Like, I can't move beyond this because that in itself, Joe Rogan, are you not like, wait, does he not play card? Is he a great card player or does he not play cards? Like, Joe, how do you let that slide? How do you not crack wise there, comedian Joe Rogan? This is fucking baffling. This is baffling. People watch this and they were like, this is the guy I'm voting for. Fucking.
He's just a natural. Got poker sense.
He's just a natural. He goes, he's a great card player, doesn't play cards. He's just a natural. And people are like, I don't know. Maybe it's the makeup. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Right? Good old poker sense.
This should be a Maybelline commercial. That's what it should be. Donald Trump should do Maybelline commercials. Is he a liar? Maybe it's Maybelline.
Phil Ruffin is a very, very wise kind of a guy, and one of the richest people around.
You've already said, dude, you're repeating yourself. How does Joe Rogan tolerate? Oh, that's right. Joe Rogan is a fucking compromised fucking psyop allowing this shit. That's why Donald Trump went on this podcast and he didn't do Stavi's World. Like, dude, you've said he's rich. We know he's rich, smart. He's the best card player who doesn't play card. We know.
And has had great success and understands people. So it was
That's what it is. These fucking flyover state maggots that are like, you don't need to bore me with the details. Just tell me how rich he is and if he's a great guy. And they just take him at his word, These people be easily tricked, man. Well, I guess that's why they buy MAGA hats and shit. That's why they buy Make America Great Again hats made in China that are making the Chinese middle class fucking a little bit better.
That I was picking Bolton, or I picked Bolton. He called up. He said, "Don't pick him. Why? He's a bad guy." I went, "No, he wasn't in politics at all. He's in various businesses." He said, "He's a bad guy. He's just, it always works out bad with that guy." And he said, "Oh man, I wish you told me this 2 weeks ago. I already hired him. You know, he's here." And
Once you hire him, you just can't fire him. You know, the guy who's notorious for going on TV saying you're fired is like, man, once I hired him, what are you gonna do? I wish there was this loophole like you could fire some. Get the fuck out of here. You know what he's doing? He's escaping accountability because John Bolton left, fucking wrote a book about him, called out all this bullshit. So Donald Trump is trying to fucking, nix any accountability. He's like, oh man, I already hired the guy. This is so fucking hilarious that Joe Rogan, very smart alpha boy Joe Rogan, is allowing this. Again, people.
and he was right, but he was good in a certain way. He's a nut job, and every time I had to deal with a country, when they saw this whack job standing behind me, they said, "Oh man, Trump's going to go to war with us." He was with Bush when they went stupidly into the Middle East.
Oh, oh, how's that audio playing for you? How's that audio playing? John Bolton wasn't with you when you went stupidly into the Middle East. How is the Joe Rogan? I wonder if you ever watch your podcast back and you watch this moment and you go,
They should have never done it. I used to say it as a civilian. So I always got more publicity than other people, and I didn't. It wasn't.
as a civilian. I love how he says that. Like, bro, you work for us, bitch. You are in public service, man. You are the fucking civilian's bitch right now.
Like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me
Oh, I
why.
could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild shit.
Maybe. Maybe
You
that's
said a lot of wild shit, and then CNN, in all their brilliance, by highlighting your wild shit, made you much more popular.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Joe. That's it, Joe. Has nothing to do with the fucking degradation of the fucking American brain and them thinking you're a smart person.
And they boosted you in the polls because people were tired of someone talking in this bullshit pre-prepared politician lingo. And
Donald Trump notoriously not doing that, saying he was the smartest guy. He was the richest guy. He was the best card player who didn't play cards. Did I mention he was smart and rich? Yeah, this is totally not political jargon.
even if they didn't agree with you, they at least knew whoever that guy is, that's him. That's really him. When
Yep, everybody looks at Donald Trump and they say, whoever that guy is, that's really him. Do you hear the amount of bootlicking? Joe, clean your tongue. You need to brush your tongue tonight because it is fucking filthy with fucking shiny boot all over it. Holy fuck. And that's why Zach Galifianakis said this.
I've had the president on now. They don't do their court gesture. They don't do it. They suck up to him.
Yeah.
So the comedians
Yep.
that are podcasts that have had Trump on, they're not doing their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the job of a comedian. You are to challenge.
Yeah.
You are to make uncomfortable. You're not to sit there and fake laugh.
Yep.
That is not the job of the court jester.
Yeah.
Period. So there is a difference. People were actually, somebody yesterday was talking to me about that, about political influence through comedy and all that stuff. I'm more interested in the comedy first.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, whatever their motive is, fine. But the comedy has to come first. I remember when I interviewed Hillary Clinton, and I could tell she didn't want to be there, and I totally get that. I get it. But before we had set that whole thing up, they wrote back, "Well, you can't bring up those emails." And I go, "Well, we don't have to do the interview. That's fine. We won't do it." When you tell powerful people no, it's crazy. They were like, "Okay, we'll do it. Well, you can ask."
Yeah.
Because it's not that important to me to do it the way they want to do it. You have to, if you're going to come in the comedy, you got to do the way we want to do it. The podcasters that have had the president on now, they don't do their court gesture.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause that. I was trying to look for this other part where what the fuck? No, it's not working. There we go. Sorry, this thing is messing up. This is the other thing where on the Vulture interview with Zach Galifianakis, link in the description, watch the whole thing. It's an hour. It's totally worth it. Zach is fucking amazing. This is the other part where he called out Joe Rogan, not by name, but who else fucking is a former comedian turned podcast expert. Great audio. Thank you, Zach, for gracing us with your presence again. We miss you.
So I don't. This is my problem also with comedians. They became experts and podcasters. No offense, but Jesus Christ.
That is funnier than anything Joe Rogan has done in the past 20 years. That is fucking brilliant. Why did my thing go into this large screen? I don't want. No, I don't even want larger screen. Jesus. Did y'all catch that? Did everybody catch that? Because this fucking thing's giving me a hard time. But that is just absolutely God's gift to humanity right here, man. Finally, I've been saying it forever. It's just good that a bigger voice than I is saying this. Zach Galifianakis, you know this handsome man from things like Out Cold and Live at the Purple Onion. He might have been in some other stuff. Between two palm trees, I forget.
Don't. This is my problem also with comedians. They became experts and podcasters. No offense, but Jesus Christ.
That, please, somebody make that a ringtone and give it to me. Because that's what when somebody texts me, somebody calls me, I just want it to be like, you know what's wrong with comedians? They became experts and podcasters, and no offense, but Jesus Christ. Can we clip this and send it to Joe Rogan, please? But Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. The conservative comes in. He goes, "Is he still complaining about my pedo and chief? I'm very upset. We want to forget them Epstein files." No, it's okay, buddy. I'm sure. Don't worry. But I just gotta warn you, conservative boy. No, sorry, wrong thing. Wrong thing. It looks like all of Donald Trump's friends are going to jail, man. All of his close friends are getting locked up. I mean, they're not doing him yet, but look at that. One of the MAGAs got locked up. I don't know if you saw yesterday. I wouldn't be calling myself a conservative, but this dude, he got a whole fucking special on Florida fucking cops episode. And there he is. Yo, man, we're going to bitch every day as long as pedos are in fucking charge. As long as the world is run by the Epstein elites, we're going to come on here and say we're not cool with it. Thank you for coming back and saying like, hey, man, I love these people. You can support these people all day. I say, fuck them. What was my other thing that I wanted to show you? Oh yeah, I say this all the time. I'm glad somebody else is tweeting this. Hey MAGA, just curious, if you insist to keep calling former President Barack Hussein Obama, why don't you call the FBI director Cash App Pramod Vinod Patel? Call him by his real name, man. Hold on, where's the other stuff? Did you guys see this fucking chode? Fuck him. Pawn Stars. What a queef. I'm not even gonna play the audio. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. This is what I talk about all the time. Now, listen, Mr. Robert Campbell. The reason the Democrats aren't going to say any of this stuff is because it doesn't suit their corporate masters. Okay? You comprehendo? It would be easy for any Democrat to come out and be like, hey, we just believe in healthcare for all. We're going to give you guys healthcare. We're going to tax a billionaire like 1% and it will pay for healthcare for 10 years. And they're not saying that because it doesn't matter left or right. There's no left, but, center or far right, it doesn't matter. The Republicans or the diet Republicans, they don't give a shit about you. This is a fucking class war. It's about all of us who work, all the people who got duped by Donald Trump and got duped by Joe Rogan, thinking that two very rich, wealthy grifters gave a shit about you. And then it turns out you had a FAFO. You had to fuck around to find out. You couldn't be like the rest of us and smell the shit coming off of them from when they started talking. But now that you're finding out the hard way, and we're dragging us all down with you, you're going to realize that it doesn't matter. Democrats, Republicans, they could easily, look at Mamdani, look at the people who are winning. They're not even promising this shit. But if you don't know who this is FDR, and this is his second Bill of Rights that he wanted to implement. Every American has a right to a job, adequate wage, and decent living. He's also the one that put in the minimum wage. A decent home, medical care, economic protection during sickness, accident, old age, or unemployment, a good education. And in this speech that he plays, or that I played for you, which is on YouTube, you can listen to it. He says, and a right to recreation. You have a right to vacation. Now this is the bare fucking this is the bare essentials to life. This is the bare essential. If you don't know, we're on a spinning blue rock where they're putting data centers everywhere and killing all the snow leopards and the mountain lions and the fucking rhinos. But you only get one shot at this. Fuck reincarnation. Please don't make me come back. And if I do, make me come back as something cool that can like eat humans. Like make me come back as a dinosaur. Life finds a way. These tech bros will try to recreate dinosaurs. I want to come back as one of them and just tear loose on these motherfuckers. But this is like the bare essentials you could do right now. Most other countries kind of fucking do some sort of this. In America, the land of the free to what? Fucking suffocate under a data center? Give me a break, man. This is the bare essential, but people still don't get it. They're like waiting. They're like, oh, a Democrat could just say anything like this. Like, humans deserve housing. And do you know why they're not? Because they don't believe that. Do you know why they don't believe that? You can go to opensecrets.org. It's just like when the Disney Don't Say Gay thing was going. I went to Open Secrets and I was like, oh, Disney donates to Republicans and Democrats. They're not one side. You think corporations have a soul? Do you believe Citizens United was a good ruling? Are you fucking high? They don't care. They're like at a roulette table in Vegas, not at Trump Casino, because that shit went bankrupt. And they're betting on red and black. But they're just doing red and blue. They bet on both because it's a win-win. And what does that mean? That means the politicians owe them. That's why they don't do anything for the people. Understand me. This is a class war. If you watch Tim Pool comb your hair with a fucking tack hammer, because anybody that's telling you this is a culture war and the real culture is men and women's sports. Oh, really? You're believing Donald Trump again, the guy who lied about everything, but he's going to hold true on the men and women's sports things. Okay. How's your no war president? How's your peace president going? Okay. So yeah, this is like the bare fucking essentials. By the way, great shirt. I don't know where you get it. Um, this is hilarious. I wanted to show you this meme. And by the way, I think this is a good time to reiterate how powerful Mr. Rogers was in the 90s. God bless this man. We miss you. We miss you, Fred. Pour one out for him if you have one to pour out.
Act like that. Yeah. A good feeling to know that whatever we wear, we're still ourselves inside. Nobody could ever change who you are by dressing you up in something. You'll always be you.
It's such a good feeling to something else. It's been a long time since I've had to remember those lyrics, but whatever you say, I hope you make it snappy today. And then if you miss this, holy shit, man. Holy shit. Did you guys catch? Now listen, I know presidential language now includes quiet piggy, grab him by the all that stuff, but this is something I was not prepared for. Who knew that Donald Trump was in a committee? The what was it? The Clitty committee? I don't know. Michael Wolf, you take it away.
The Epstein scandal. The fear is that Ghislaine Maxwell can tie Donald Trump to the details of what Trump and Epstein called the Pussy Committee.
They should have called it the Clitty committee, man. You don't want to call it that. God damn. Did they grab him by that committee? Holy Shinto. Holy Shinto. We needed that. Now, what was the Clitty committee?
The Pussy Committee consisted of Trump and Epstein in their efforts to get girls for Prince Andrew.
Okay, is any kind of officer of the law after the Clitty committee? Please. And Michael Wolf, never say that again. Michael Wolf, Look at me. Look at me, Michael. You have adorable glasses. You dress like a fucking, a hipster Mr. Magoo. But god damn it, if I ever hear you say that again, I will slap the teeth out of your mouth. Oh my god. Mr. Rogers was a national treasure. It's too bad this nation didn't deserve him. I could agree with both of those. A $5.35 gas price under Boudin was brought to you by your moron hero Trump. I've never, listen, I'm old and I've never in my life watched gas prices rise before my, usually like it goes up overnight. At this point, they can't even help it. They're like, oh shit. And I talk about this all the time. I'll watch the gas prices from my job and I just watch them keep today, 427 to 430, 432, 435. Last week, it went from 387. I keep you updated. I'm like, I went on lunch, it was 387. I came back, it was 409. And I said, fuck you. The worst people of the country are in charge. That's right. Good name. Fuck the rich. Love it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that news to your ears and eye holes. What else? I don't know what else. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? The Clitty Committee. Can't believe these perverts and the people who support it. Still. My Christ, people. Wake the fuck up. I love the people that say do your own research, but then it comes to the Epstein files. It's like, just do some research, man. Jmail.world. Go do some research. Type in Trump at gmail.world. Do your own research if you don't believe me. What else do we have? I just don't want to play this Donald Trump stuff. He's fucking exhausting. And until they start playing, oh, here we go. Here's from the Good Liars. The Good Liars. I like them. They go out and talk to MAGA. And seriously, if nothing else, this audio doesn't make you think we should really invest in education. Maybe even for old folks. They're more vulnerable to being stupid morons, because when they grew up, like, you could just drop out of high school, get married, buy a house, They were like, we got no worries. These old fucking boomers and whatever they are, like, they're like, hey, we just dropped out of high school, got married, had 14 kids, bought 2 homes, went on vacations, had a boat. They're like, well, you kids aren't bringing a pencil to your interviews, are you? It's like, well, now you're stupid and you were tricked by the biggest pedo in the world.
How do you think Donald Trump was fighting the release of the Epstein files?
Why do I think?
Yeah.
I don't think it needed to be released. None of us needed to see that stuff. There's worse things that John F. Kennedy did.
Oh yeah, notorious John F. Kennedy, kid fucker.
Then with children? Do you do stuff with children?
No,
Okay.
I don't think any of them did that.
You don't think that
Jeffrey,
What she's telling you is her feelings override any facts. The guy with the long history of bragging about going into teenage fucking pageant locker rooms totally didn't do that. The guy who said he would bang his daughter totally wouldn't do that. Ooh, okay.
Epstein did. I don't think Trump did.
okay, but Epstein, like, there were victims who said there were high profile
Right.
people, billionaires, class, who were, they were being trafficked to.
Right. I don't know. I've watched enough of it. I just don't think I don't think it's our business what happened with all those people. I don't.
But like,
The locker up for emails, folks, the Hunter Biden laptop, folks, these are the people that are just drawing the line at Donald Trump trafficking kids. Okay.
should the people who committed the crime, should they?
There's one thing I can't wait for, and that's the expedited fucking release of these fucking soulless husks into the next fucking atheon of whatever the fuck happens after this, because they ain't going to Jesus, and they can just leave this earth to some better people, if you know what I mean.
They face judgment?
Yes, they should face criminal charges. Yes.
And so, I guess, why do you think Trump was fighting the release of them?
I think the whole cabinet was fighting the release. It wasn't just him. I think his whole cabinet was fighting
Yes. The question was why, dummy?
the release.
But why? I guess why?
The same reason why we didn't know everything about World War II.
I would ask her if she has Velcro fucking shoes, and if not, who ties them for her every morning?
I mean, we didn't. I mean, I mean, this is newsworthy, but I just don't think it's that newsworthy. I don't think we need to have it shoved in our face every day.
Right. But him tweeting out, "Stop talking about Epstein."
Yeah.
That didn't seem odd to you.
No.
No.
Yep.
Nope. Nope. Okay. Gen Z will rise up. I have faith in the youth. Not the Nick Fuentes use, not those still in the closet, fucking coming to grips with the reality of who they are, kind of clavicular youth, but the rest of them. I believe in you. And be who you want to be. Land of the free, express yourself in any way you want. Mr. Rogers taught us back in the 90s that what you put on doesn't change who you are, and some people fucking forgot that. And more importantly, if MAGA tells you like they're scared of a man wearing a dress, just know that that's their problem. They shouldn't be so sensitive, It is a good life being a boomer, right? You drop out of middle school, they got married. That's why all these boomers don't give a shit. They were like, hey, we were all getting married in 7th grade anyways, buying our first home by fucking 12, and then we were just working at the factories. Had a good old union job. Now I'm in my retirement. Not gonna leave any for you. Oh man. Fucking boomers. Oh, we talked about Sim. What's up, man? You weren't here yesterday. We talked about old Rudia. Get it straight. If we're gonna remember Rudy, let's do it the way he wanted, as a drag queen. We're gonna remember Rudy Giuliani from all of his greatest hits, from Four Seasons Landscaping to exposing himself to a young underage girl, which is very on par for me. In a Borat movie, nonetheless. Um, but we talked about him yesterday, and we said what every politician says when they don't give a fuck: thoughts and prayers. Oh man, there's your mayor, not my mayor. Uh, so yeah, we did address. We did a little addressing. Yeah, if it weren't for the Democrat, it was Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna that forced the Epstein Transparency Act, which this administration, this Law and Order administration, is still breaking the law, by withholding over 3 million files, and from what I hear, is like 40 gigs of video. What's on the video? If you're what did he say? Exposed? No, he said expunged. I forget what he said. Excommunicated. Donald Trump said he was like you know, not in them, and it's like, okay, just prove it. Just prove it. Just prove it. Just prove it. Just release everything. An innocent man wouldn't be hiding anything. But again, that's common sense, which goes right over Joe Rogan and MAGA's head. Um by the way, does anybody remember Felix the cat? Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat, reaches into his bag of tricks and something, sock my dick. Felix the cat. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Show us the Carfax, old man. The founder Yosh. Brilliant. Brilliant. Show us the Carfax, old man. Prove it. That's what I mean. This is why the media, the corporate media, is not your friend. They're complicit in this shit. Because once he said he was exonerated, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Once he said he was exonerated, motherfucker should have said, prove it. Show us the Carfax. Yoshi, I listen, founder Yosh, I will start a change.org to get you into the White House press corps, so when he's next time he says he's exonerated, you can go, prove it, old man, show us the Carfax, and then fucking mic drop and walk out, because you know he ain't doing that. That was so funny. That was so fucking funny. Thank you. I've really enjoyed the chat today. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat, and thank you for members for supporting the channel, and thank you to everybody who has hit subscribe. That's the free way to support the channel. We out here doing God's work, man. I'm your ordained reverend. Welcome to the Church of Radical Communion, and we are here to fucking expose the heathens like Joe Rogan. He should go to one of them churches where they hold rattlesnakes. Anyways, Edward, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody. Oh man, I think that's it for me, guys. But hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Much love to you. Thank you, Charlie Kelly, for the super chat. Again, thank you to all the members who support this channel. Thank you to everybody with the funny chats, man. I had a good time today. I'm fucking exhausted, but we had some fun. We had some fun. We had some laughs. We had some sighs. We had some Mr. Rogers heartwarming wholesomeness too. You know, I try to bring you everything on this show. I'm not beyond trying to give you everything on this show. Not a lot of shows will promise that. I'll tell you that much. Hey, where the fuck's my thing, man? Not a lot of shows are going to promise you everything, and that's the one thing I do. I do that. I do that. I do that. I give you everything from the Clitty committee that we learned about. Michael Wolff, never say that word again. He called it the Pussy Committee, which he was talking about Trump and Epstein collecting young women, underage girls for Prince Andrew, and called it the Pussy Committee. Disgusting. Good luck trying to go to sleep tonight. I redubbed it the Clitty Committee because that's, you know, it's a little fresher. To Mr. Rogers, to I didn't play the Pawn Stars guy. You know why? Does anybody know why I didn't play the Pawn Stars guy? Rick fucking Chumley, whatever. Yeah, I tweeted him. Oh, hold on. Let me show you the tweet. I tried to tag him in. I hope he goes on Twitter. I hope that dude goes on Twitter. Wait, did I take a picture of the tweet? Yeah, I did. Here we go. I said, what did I say? Chew a bag of Chumley's dicks, Rick Harrison. I got a laugh out of that. You know, if he's going to come on and start saying, oh, I know my history. This is the greatest president ever. While everybody's suffocating from fucking high prices on everything and he's gambling all our fucking tax money away. Then I'm going to tell him to chew on a bag of Chumley's dicks. Okay? You also got that. So not only do I run the gamut of Mr. Rogers' wholesomeness, but I tell these fucking kumquats where they should go and put their mouths. You know, because that's what I do. I'm for the people. That's okay. You maybe think, well, I couldn't do that on Twitter, and I say, who gives a fuck? There are no rules. These two just prove that to us by doing whatever they want and not holding anyone accountable and shedding any accountability and lying to our faces. That's what he did. That's why I don't want to play it for you. I don't want to play it for you because he's just bald-faced lying. That's what he is, a baldy. Probably dad didn't love him either. Oh, no, wait, you could see that on the show. Wasn't his dad on the show and his dad always despised him? So it just fucking par for the course. His dad hated him. His dad hated him. Elon's dad hated him. Jeff Bezos' dad left him. His stepdad was the only one that stepped in and supplied him with the money to fucking do what he did. So a bunch of these dudes, they just got a hole in their heart because their dad wouldn't fucking hug them. But that's what we do here on this show, just in case you're wondering. And we also make fun of Charlie Kirk all the fucking time. You know, anybody remember that guy? Yesterday, if you missed it, I got out my spirit box and we were trying to commune with his fucking spirit in hell or wherever he is. We'll try that again. Maybe we'll do that a members only thing, you know, where I take you deep into a graveyard and we ask Charlie Kirk if he's there and then tell him to suck a bag of dicks. That's really the only reason I want to communicate. I don't give a shit. I would just like to get his spirit tethered to the fucking line if he's not too busy getting rammed to gangbanged by a bunch of black dudes in hell. I would like to get Charlie Kirk there so I could tell him to chew a bag of Erica Kirk's dicks. And then hang up on him. You know what I mean? I think that's funny. Because it is funny. It's better than Joe Rogan's comedy, you know. I'm not humping a stool. So that's what you get here. If you're trying to get a summary, if you're trying to get a mission statement for the show, it's really we say fuck your feelings. We say let's go Brandon, and we say it in a way that isn't disguised because we aren't scared to use words. Okay, MAGA? Okay, MAGA? By the way, I would watch this movie. I never seen the original White Chicks, but goddamn, I would watch this movie. They'd have to do good cop, bad cop, you know, because she'd be like, people are doing whiteface. How sensitive can these motherfuckers get? Anyways, Telespirit Erica Kirk was taken by JD Vance. Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Oh yeah, put it in the chat. Whatever, if I can connect with Charlie Kirk, what you would like me to tell him. Somebody hate watching? Beautiful. Thank you for telling us that you're alone at your house and you fucking don't even have any pets that you could spend time with, so you're spending time hate watching somebody. That sounds fun. The only derangement is you following that tiny dick's fucking pedo in chief, David. I love how all these people that like to chirp out of the woodwork have no avatars. They'll never show their face. They won't do a live stream. They just go into comments. They're like, man, you really got a problem with Trump. He's so awesome. He made my gas $20 a gallon and he's keeping all the Epstein associates out of prison. Like, tell us how small your dick is again. This is the Black Mariah Theater, The Kills. Future starts slow cover, because that's what the revolution does. We have revolutionary optimism here. Do you understand me? You comprendo? And don't worry if you can't go out to a bus or something. This is why I brought up the the cat cartoon. Because sometimes you could just dissent in your own way. And I support that, man. Land of the free, free to express yourself how you want to. We don't go, oh, you have an iPhone and hate capitalism. We don't do that chud behavior here. We understand that to each their own, man. To each their own. Power to the people. If you got to dissent in a certain way, by God, you do it. I do it live every single weekday, so hit subscribe if you want some comedy, some satire, some fucking dissociating for a little while I just make fun of these people for, you know, the words they say, because they're stupid. They're stupid. Joe Rogan is a moron. He wasn't fucking, you know, he didn't stumble to his success. Peter Thiel picked him. Go look at who invests the most in Spotify, and you'll see it's, oh, Peter Thiel. And then who gave Joe Rogan a $100 million contract? Oh, it was Spotify by Peter Thiel. And then who happened to have all of Peter Thiel's friends on, including Peter Thiel, a few different times? Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's going, so Peter, you knew Epstein before the arrest, right? Trying to run PR for him. And Peter Thiel couldn't even play along. He was like, no, it was fully after he was arrested for that heinous shit. And I just overlooked it because, you know, billionaire's gonna billionaire. I can't believe some of you act subservient to these fucking sloth goons. Oh, God. You disgust me. You know that, MAGA? I'd rather Steph Rooney. By the way, good to see you. Primal Screen, Smoking Blondie, Steph Rooney. Here's the thing: when you say I'd rather look poor than rich, anyways, Steph Rooney. You ever notice, like Russell Brand, for instance, um, or who else? The Met Gala. You notice how sometimes, like the Met Gala just happened. They're like, oh look, they're wearing Gucci Vidata. That is a amazing gown that is meant to look like a dumpster fire, with oil tankers surrounding it. Like, these wealthy people buy expensive clothes to look fucking homeless. Like, look at Russell Brand. He looks like he found his hats in a fucking dumpster outside of Walmart. And he probably paid thousands and thousands of dollars for it. So it's hilarious that even the rich people want to fucking cosplay as fucking poor people. What was the word? We took a note on the word. There's a word for it. I took a fucking note on it. Took a goddamn note because it was such a funny word. They were like cosplaying as something. Does anybody remember who was here when we did that? Oh, here it is. Poverty cosplay. There's a language for it. We developed a language. It's called poverty cosplay. Even rich people don't want to fucking, you know, be like, oh, these meta glasses. Remember when they were all wearing the fucking Apple glasses around and people were like, rob that dude. You know, they're like, oh shit, we're gonna spend a lot of money to look very poor, just fit in, just assimilate. um I don't care what people wear. I mean, take it from me, if you see my clothes, they're mostly from the 90s. That's right, Smoking. Treat that like button as you would a twatsy's face and hit it. Hit the like button. Jesus looked like Mamdani. And he wore a dress. There were no Levi's 501 jeans in fucking 0 BC. Hate to break it to you, folks. If you're going to be complaining about men wearing dresses, get ready to start complaining about Jesus. They just called them robes at the time, but the language is fucking arbitrary. It was probably some ancient Aramaic word. Jesus wasn't wearing dungarees and a fucking cowboy hat. Hate to break it to you, middle America. Honestly, up here, the rich don't show off because it's frowned on. That's right. We should start throwing tomatoes at people again. What happened to the good old days where you booed people and chucked tomatoes, you know? Bring back tradition. All right. Oh, that's what I was doing. And Smoking Blondie is an artist. Go support her. Link in the description to Smoking Blondie. I'm grateful you took some time out of your day to hate watch me. Come back, y'all, and hate watch me again.
When we can swing there, like a broken sail. But I will give you up if I ever give you up. I will leave you.
Bow, bow, bow. Oh, The Kills, amazing Shadow Dreamer. I can't play their song, so I find covers of it, and the Black Mariah Theater is amazing. But this Future Starts Slow song reminds me of a perfect song for right now, because what's happening is starting slow. The emergence of this socialism that you see starting to blossom, we've planted the seeds. This may be a tree that we don't get to enjoy the shade of, but we've planted the seeds. People are waking up, and this fucking criminal enterprise that is running the country right now is shattering the glass of what used to be, and there's no going back. So this song is perfect. The 90s were a complete revolt on brands. The richest people I've ever encountered dressed like vagabonds. Yeah. It's expensive to wear comfy clothes. Make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell. Okay? If you're going to come back and hate watch me, I want you here every day. Like these other MAGAs. They're here every day. It's hilarious. Like, do they not have friends? I get a bunch of friends all in the chat. Charlie, Audrey, smoking. I buy weed to consume. I believe in consumerism. Amen. Amen. It's medicine. What was that again?
Called the Pussy Committee.
Gross. Never say that again. I'll see you guys tomorrow.